Whether your pet is a dog, a cat, a bird, or any animal you consider family, there's one thought every pet owner tries to avoid. What if one day they're gone? Sometimes pets pass away because of old age, sometimes because of illness, but sometimes they disappear because of a mistake that seems harmless at the time. A door left open, a window unlocked, one moment of carelessness, and before you realize it, the pet you have loved for years is gone. This is the story of Rose, my very first pet. A kitten I rescued from a school drain, a cat that became part of my family, and the painful lesson I learned when I took for granted something as simple as keeping a door and window closed. I'm going to be completely honest with you. My memory of how I exactly found Rose is a little foggy. It happened on a random school day, probably sometime between Monday and Friday during my lunch break. I was most likely heading to the washroom when I noticed a group of my friends gathered around a large drain behind the school. Fortunately, the drain was dry. From a distance, I could see them throwing large stones into the drain. As I got closer and looked inside, I realized there was a litter of tiny kittens down there. What really upset me was seeing my friend Tyrese throwing stones directly at them. I was instantly angry. I slapped the stone out of his hand and asked him, "Why are you throwing rocks at a litter of kittens that couldn't have been more than 2 weeks old?" His response was simple: "I hate cats." That answer only made me more frustrated. My first idea was to bring the kittens to the agriculture teacher. At the secondary school I attended in Trinidad, the agriculture department had several animals, including rabbits, ducks, and chickens. Unfortunately, the teacher told me he didn't have space and didn't want them. With nowhere else to turn, I picked up the kittens with the help of a Form 2 or Form 3 girl. For those unfamiliar with Trinidad's school system, Forms 1 to 6 are roughly equivalent to grades 7 to 12 in the United States. We then carried the kittens to the school office, hoping they could help. The office staff basically told us they couldn't facilitate the kittens and had no idea what to do with them. At the moment, I made a decision. I decided I wanted a pet. I wasn't sure whether my mother would allow a cat in the apartment, but I knew one thing. If I was going to keep a kitten, I wanted a female. I can't remember the girl's name today, but she deserves a huge shout out. Without her help, those kittens may never have found homes. For the sake of this story, I'll call her Cat Jeannie. Since the school couldn't help, Cat Jeannie and I decided to walk throughout the entire school from Form 1 to Form 6, looking for students willing to adopt the kittens. Before we started, I told her that I wanted a female kitten. I held the kitten while she examined it and confidently picked one she believed was female. Looking back now, after years of experience with cats, she probably wasn't certain at all, but at the time, she seemed like a cat expert. At first, several people refused to adopt the kittens. Eventually, however, we managed to find homes for almost all of them. The only kitten left was one that Cat Jeannie decided to take home herself. Of course, you have probably wondering how my mother reacted when I brought a cat home, how Rose got his name, and how I even managed to transport him there. Well, I placed the kitten inside my school bag and left a small opening so he could breathe. In hindsight, that was a terrible idea. Rose spent the entire trip trying to escape. Thankfully, we made it home safely. My female cousin was thrilled to have a cat around her because she absolutely loved cats. My mother, however, was not impressed. I begged and begged and begged. Eventually, she gave in. It also helped that everyone else in the household immediately fell in love with Rose, including my spoiled little brother. At one point, I even held Rose up and basically said, "Mom, look at this kitten face. Do you really want to put this little adorable girl out on the streets?" That argument didn't work immediately, but eventually she softened. 2 months before I rescued Rose, my grandmother had passed away. Her name was Mary Jennifer Centuries. Because of that, I felt it was right to name my first pet after her. I chose Rose. For sure, my mother's response was, "You can't be naming my mother after a dirty animal." Thankfully, the name stuck anyway. Now comes the part where many pet owners will probably criticize me, and honestly, I understand why. You live and you learn. The last time I spent with Rose was on May the 30th, 2026. Looking back, I made several mistakes. I recently moved Rose from my old home to my new home, moving from my mom to my dad. I didn't fully appreciate how stressful that transition would be for him. Rose was always an independent cat. He liked his space and could be very nonchalant at times. Because of that, I took his adjustment for granted. Instead of keeping doors and windows closed while he settled in, I constantly left them open. Eventually, he escaped. The reason I moved him in the first place was because I no longer live with my mother. My stepfather didn't like Rose and would often do things that scared him and encouraged him to stay outside. Even before that, Rose's living situation wasn't ideal. We lived on the top floor of a 4-story apartment building and somehow managed to fall multiple times from upper floors to lower levels. Thankfully, he never suffered any serious injuries to my knowledge. Maybe there's really some truth to the saying that cats have 9 lives. If you're a new cat owner, please learn from my mistake. Do as much research as possible before getting any pet. And yes, that includes cats, dogs, birds, ducks, chickens, and all the other animals people somehow manage to keep as pets. As funny as it sounds, we have all probably met that one quiet kid in school who barely talked to anyone and seemed nervous all the time. You just know that person is the type to own an alligator or lion in 2026. Jokes aside, one important lesson is to spay or neuter your pets. A cat's mating instinct can be incredibly powerful. Female cats go into heat, while male cats are often driven by testosterone to roam, search for mates, vocalize loudly, spray territory, and compete with other mates. Ironically, remember when I said Rose was female? Well, he wasn't. A few months later, my mom noticed that Rose very clearly had male autonomy. Rose wasn't a girl, he was a boy. It's funny how life works. My cat didn't become male through surgery. He was born that way. After everything that happened, I learned one simple lesson. Just get a kitten. As fate would have it, I eventually got another kitten named Daisy to keep Rose company and to give myself the experience of raising a cat from kittenhood into adulthood again. This time, I tried to do everything correctly. I focused on kitten-proofing the house. I bought supplies. I researched cat care. I prepared. Unfortunately, while I was focused on Daisy, I slowly began paying less attention to Rose and his whereabouts. Without realizing it, Daisy started replacing Rose in my daily routine. At the same time, Rose had been missing for several days. He could have been lost, he could have been dead, or he could have been out searching for a mate. I guess that's what I thought. Then one day, while I was with my friend Gabriel, I found Rose again sitting in my open garage. A second time, I spotted him while cutting grass behind my house. For a moment, I felt relieved, then everything went wrong. Gabriel had 5 dogs with him. When the dogs noticed Rose, they instinctively chased him. Panic broke out. Rose ran. Before anyone could react, he fell into an open cesspit. Everything happened so quickly. I had already begun accepting the possibility that Rose was going to die. My friend Raymond, who had been helping me cut grass, refused to give up. While I panicked, he kept thinking. He told me to find a long sheet. As I searched desperately, I could hear Rose crying in terror. I could hear him struggling to stay afloat. I could hear the filthy water splashing around him and in his mouth. Thankfully, I found an old sheet in the basement. Raymond threw it into the cesspit. Rose climbed out. Against all odds, he survived. That was the last time I saw him. Even now, I don't know where Rose is. Maybe he's alive, maybe he's not. But one thing is certain, Rose taught me lessons that no book, YouTube videos, or internet article ever could. He taught me responsibility. He taught me patience. He taught me that good intentions alone aren't enough when caring for an animal. Most importantly, he taught me that every moment with a pet matters, because one day, without warning, those moments might be gone. And if I ever see Rose again, I'll make sure he knows he was never forgotten, and also he will need to take a thorough bath, maybe some bleach and Clorox and water. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click one of the videos on your screen to keep watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. I appreciate your support and I will see you in the next video.